Good evening. Let me speak up a little. Good evening. Um, let's first say this is for myself. This is I will watch this later on. Um, Maybe a month from now, maybe a week from now, something like that. And basically, don't follow my trades. Don't try to follow my trades. Don't don't try to follow anyone's trades. So um patterns, right? So if you one of the reasons why I zoom out, right? I pull out. I don't look close in, right? We generally start with the month or we look at the week, right? And there's a good reason that we do this, that we ground ourselves in perspective. So I saw this triangle somewhere right here, and I thought, oh, well, gee, this could be a big triangle, or it could be a triple bottom pattern, right? So a triple bottom pattern kind of implies that it's going to go up like a lot, right? But so I woke up and I saw this candle right here. Now, another thing that people do is they say, "Oh my God, MercyBeat, you don't make any money on your trades. You should be using leverage, and you should be following this person, or you should check out this YouTube channel and you should. This guy does live trading with leverage, and he makes tons of money and stuff like that." So I've been watching this guy kind of on and off, and seemed to know what he was talking about, playing with leverage, but he seemed to be losing a lot to me. Now, to me, right, I'm just going to say it. You know that losing tacos is a lot to me. So losing a craving box is something I have to consider. But this guy had driven an account down pretty far. Pretty far, like close to $100,000 in a week, right? So we got the triple bottom pattern is what people were seeing, right? One, two, three. And then they expected boom. They expected it just to go up. If we look at it on the 1 hour, we can actually see right? Because it was like 9 a.m. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, let me get rid of this triangle. And I'm thinking, okay, I can kind of see how someone would see a triple bottom there. There's the one, two, three, and then we're supposed to take off. Of course, I'm looking at the TEMA and I'm like, that's a hard TEMA because I talk about the TEMAs like gravity, like two forces pulling towards each other, right? And really that 50, that's the strongest bit of gravity, right? So the further it gets away from it. Anyways, I'm watching this, and I've got the charts on the left, and I've got this guy on the right because I'm flipping through and seeing what people are doing. And as I'm watching right here, like 9 in the morning, right? 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, this guy goes long. This guy goes long. This guy goes 100 times leverage long. And he lost it all within minutes. I couldn't believe that I was watching it. I actually typed in the chat, did that just happen? It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I think he was revenge trading or showing off or something, but people followed his trade. People went long and they used leverage and they immediately got liquidated. So let that be a warning to you. That's why I don't do leverage. I sleep at night. I don't worry at night about trades. There's a reason why. Find your balance. Balance in all things. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's go back to the 4 hour because I love triangles. So let's see if I see that triangle again. Let's see. I actually like that better. All right, that's what I think I'm kind of seeing. So that's a pretty good triangle to be bouncing around. Now we could, since that is a pretty big, how much space do we have? From here to here, if we were to go long right now, it's like 2%. 2%, and before we get to that 2%, before we get to the top, we're going to have to compete with the 50 TEMA. 4 hours. I wouldn't have bet against it here. So, and threes, right? I like to see things happen in threes. That's another thing, right? Another three, another drop here would bring us down to, let's go to our daily. Another 4 hour drop in threes would bring us back down to 19K or so, right? See, these TEMAs, they don't look like they're getting any closer. They don't look like they're spreading, but they're still going down. So I have to expect more downward movement. Now, as I say that, other coins are going crazy. Phil, right here, just went crazy. On the 4 hour, it's going to be pushing to see if it can hit the the 200. So what's going on here? I think what's going on is that some people are shorting some coins so much that you're going to have to look it up on the internet to get a good definition, because you're not going to get one from me. But a short squeeze is happening, and that means that there's so many shorts being laid down that it just takes one whale to come in and buy up a little bit of that coin, and it starts liquidating people who are using leverage, right? I'm not saying that's what happened to Bitcoin when it dropped, because I mean, I was watching that and I wouldn't have bet against the TEMA, but I also don't believe in I don't believe in double bottoms. I don't believe in double tops. I don't believe in head and shoulders. And I don't believe in dead cat bounces. Um, Now, I believe they happen, but I'm not using that as a 90% this is what's going to happen next type strategy. So, doesn't work for me, might work for somebody else. Don't know what to say. But Phil here, Shiba, these are all just not looking good. So, that's about it. I'll tell you what I'm doing though. Right now I'm watching this very carefully because I'm wondering, like a short squeeze on BTC alone could drive the price up 9%, or a whopping 25%. Not saying this is going to happen. Do not bet on this happening. But I don't know. A lot of people, everybody's wanting to short. Everybody's wanting to make money. And nobody knows what they're doing. I mean, this morning, 25 grand in minutes. Well, more than like 10 minutes. But still, that was crazy. I was like, holy cow. This is a... I'm not going to mention the channel. Holy cow, I'm not going back. And I told the guy, I sent the guy a message on Messenger today. I was like, hey, did you watch what happened this morning? And I'm like, I'm not watching that guy again. All right, be careful. Don't try and follow people's trades. But right now, I'm watching these TEMAs. Now, I also want to look at this rejection zone indicator. Because on the 4-hour, this is looking like it could be ready to drop. It's not looking like it would be ready to flip. We look at it on the daily, and that's such a small percentage. There's just no way, unless you're using like 100 times leverage, right? I mean, I hope you see what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the RSI getting to the top, but it got there with very little movement, especially on the day. This RSI is very little movement. This is not making me feel good. So I do think BTC is going down more. I do think that we will see 1700. I do think that BNB will go down more. BNB has its own triangle here that this should be another 4-hour based triangle here. I mean, our what I like about the the trade pro rejection zone indicator is that it makes the trends that I'm seeing very easy to talk about, right? Like this is a downward trend that we have been in. And if we go to our day, we're at a fairly risky junction, right? But it looks as though we are going to continue this longer previous trend, and that this can easily be washed away as a rally or a bull flag, however you want to put it. But yeah, it's way too late to jump in on Phil, that's for sure. The trade zone indicator says that you want this to go into the red, and then when it comes out, that is when you would short. And that may line up with this crazy RSI right here, right? So there's things like that. I'm not telling you to short. I don't short. You can short. You can do whatever the hell you want. But yeah. Yep. So that's it. Good luck. Labor Day weekend, that's another thing. That's another thing to think about. That's another thing. That's another reason why I'm watching, is because it's Labor Day weekend. If we can bounce, we could bounce back up to 22K. All right. I'm going to stop. That's it.